Welcome to the Mills Skits special 10-year anniversary. I don't know what I'm going to call this video, but welcome. Basically, what we're going to do is hopefully something fun. I have picked one skit to represent each year on this channel. I will be showing them to you without interruption, but I will be talking in between the skits to kind of share some insight into them. In trying to be true to the original way YouTube did things, 10 of these are long form, but I only made one long form skit this year, so I decided I needed to be able to pick from shorts for this year. There will be a link to each of these skits in the description in case you want to go watch the original, give it a like if you're willing to, or share it with somebody. I don't want you to have to share this whole video if you don't want to, so each individual skit will be linked to in the description. Also, I wanted to give a warning that you may not want to watch this with earphones because these videos were made over the course of 10 years and the audio may be all up and down. I may be able to balance it a little bit in editing, but I'm not sure how well I can do that, so maybe don't use earphones. Anyway, let's get started. We're going to go all the way back to 2015. The logical thing to do would be to share the very first skit that I ever made on this channel, but that one is going to get its very own video celebration, so it doesn't deserve to be in this video too. I'm picking instead my parody of It's a Wonderful Life, and it's called It's a Wonderful Life. There's a question mark at the end. Let's watch it.
Look, Daddy, teacher says, every time a bell rings, an angel gets his wings.
That's right. That's right. Attaboy, Clarence. Why did you take the bell off the tree, Zuzu?
We have to help the angels, Daddy.
Mary, honey, do something.
You're the one who wanted to get married and have children, George. I was getting quite used to living behind those bushes.
No, Zuzu, stop! I can't take it anymore, Zuzu.
No, I've got to help the angels. How many angels do you think need wings, Daddy?
I'd say about 5, and right now you're giving them wings coming out of their ears.
George, I don't know why she keeps talking about angels, but teacher says there's lots and lots.
Oh, sweet happy day. She stopped running around ringing that bell.
No, I didn't, Daddy. I just needed to switch hands. Listen, Daddy, I'm helping lots of angels.
I can't take it anymore, Zuzu.
I'm a faster learner than my dad. I'm just a wee little girl, but I've already found my life's calling.
Clarence, if I ever die for realsies, you're gonna get it.
10 years later, I'm still helping them, Daddy.
Sorry, I just had to do that. I wanted to include that one because I think it's one of my videos that I feel is the most undervalued. I don't know what the right word is. It didn't get discovered on YouTube, and I thought it was funny because I feel like it's realistic. If a kid were told that every time a bell rings, an angel gets its wings, the child would take the bell off the tree and just ring and ring it forever because they take things literally. So I think that movie was unrealistic in that way. Another thing I wanted to mention that you're going to notice in these early videos is that I was using a webcam. So you're getting uncomfortable close-ups, but that's the way it is for the first videos. Let's move on to 2016 and The Girlfriend's Guide to Football. I had to include this one because it was hard to make, as you'll see when you watch it. There's extra stuff in there. But also my brother and dad liked this one, and that makes me feel happy. Another thing worth mentioning is that I tried to make a sequel to this, but I couldn't find a sport that didn't make enough sense to me. Does that make sense how I worded that? I tried with baseball and I'm like, baseball just makes too much sense. Football does not make sense to me, so that's how I was able to make this one. It actually doesn't make sense to me in real life. I hope you enjoy it.
Hi, ladies.
This is the Girlfriend's Guide to Football because if you were like I used to be, you're probably totally clueless about the game. So I'm making this video to help you out. I'm going to put football right here. First of all, football has nothing to do with cuddly, cute animals. So if your boyfriend tells you that he's watching Bears pummel Cardinals, don't call ASPCA on speed dial. Sometimes they do get dressed up in animal suits like buffaloes and koalas, but trust me, there's just a sweaty man inside. The guys start off the game by singing karaoke and crying, "Oh, they're so vulnerable." Then they watch a coin flip done by a guy still in his prison uniform, some sort of rehabilitation life training thing. There is always some guy who's a little bit cuckoo who thinks he can balance an egg-shaped ball on its end. And he'll try, but it doesn't work very well because invariably some jerk's gonna run by and kick it out. Old men called commentators just sit around calling the players names like Cowboy, Crazy Legs, Kookaburra, and sometimes they get so bored they start drawing on the screen. The next thing is men pile on top of each other, and then they get off one by one to see if the guy underneath is safe. The next part of the game is to stand around worrying about whether or not he's okay, and if he isn't, they get out a stretcher and haul him off. Sounds like fun, guys. Someone invented this a long time ago, and it's called pickup sticks, and you play it with sticks. It's a lot safer. If you didn't keep injuring all your players, maybe you'd have less quarterbacks and halfbacks and a lot more fullbacks. There's also this really weird part of the game where some man takes off all of his clothes and starts running across the field while everyone takes off after him. He must be part of the offensive team. Sometimes there's this thing called halftime where sharks start dancing around Katy Perry. Or maybe that's another guy thing called Shark Week. The main thing most women don't understand is football time, because football games all last for 60 minutes, right? You'll ask your boyfriend if the game is almost over 3 hours later because you're getting really, really bored and you want to watch Frozen. And he'll be all like, "Will you leave me alone? There are only 5 minutes left and it's getting really good." So you go back later and he's all, "Just 5 more minutes." And this is the big secret I found out, ladies. Football exists in an alternate time and space universe that doesn't match up with ours. Have you read the Narnia books? Because it's kind of like Narnia, but in reverse. You could spend 1 minute in football land and maybe 5 hours have gone by in ours. And like magic, it changes every single time. But it makes perfect sense because something as weird as football could only exist if we also believe in alternate universes. Now you ladies know everything you need to know about football. I still haven't figured out what those yellow Y's are for, but it's probably just decorative.
Now we're moving on to 2017, which is Wanda and Whiskers meeting Whillikers. The Wanda and Whiskers story is a sentimental one to me. My cat, Minnie, is a pain. She's 11 years old, and when I went to adopt her from the shelter, I was told her mom is wild. Like, the helper there seemed really upset about her mom, and I should have asked more questions, but I didn't. I would sometimes cry about how difficult Minnie was to take care of, especially as a kitten. It was really bad to the point where there were comments made at the vet's office, and it was nothing I was doing, it was just her personality. And thankfully she has mellowed over the years. I came up with the idea years ago to just hold her and let her do whatever she wanted to do to my face. So there are other skits on this channel than this one. In fact, this is not the first one, but it's where I could fit it in to show it to you today. The thing is, when I was able to see my cat from a third-person perspective, like I was not the one getting torn up so much as I was watching it on the screen, it helped me mentally to kind of see the humor in the situation. The reason this one is different is because I had adopted a second cat, hoping this second cat would help her with her personality, and thankfully they have been just the best of friends. And truly, getting her a friend was one of the best things that I ever did for her. So this is a sentimental video to me. Now, I don't remember it. I'm going to go watch it now, and then I'll come back and talk about it a little bit more if there's anything else to add. But let's watch it.
Hi, I'm Wanda, and this is Whiskers, and we love all of our subscribers on YouTube, don't we, Whiskers? Let's see how many subscribers we have today, Whiskers. We have 0 subscribers. Did you unsubscribe me again? Since Whiskers is such a wonderful friend, I asked my husband if we could get just one more cat. But my husband said he'd rather have 1,000 nails simultaneously driven into his big toe than have any more cats. Isn't that funny, Whiskers? His toe's not that big. So Whiskers, don't tell your daddy, but I went out and got you a new baby sister. Should I show the nice people on YouTube? This is Whillikers. So far, she and Whiskers haven't met. This kitty just licks me and snuggles and makes tiny little motorboat noises. She acts nothing like Whiskers. So tomorrow, Whillikers has an appointment with the vet to find out what's wrong with her. Whiskers, are you ready to meet your new baby sister, Whiskers? Whiskers! Whiskers! What are you doing, Whiskers? I think Whiskers loves that new little kitten as much as she loves me.
Alright, that one made me laugh with the line about having to take Whillikers to the vet to see what was wrong with her, not the cat that's ripping into my face. But anyway, I really like how that did show their very different personalities. I have another skit coming up that they're both into with the kitten all grown up. We're moving on to 2018 where Martha Stewart makes thank you cards. I don't remember this one. The reason I'm including Martha Stewart is because I do impressions on this channel, I do parodies, and you probably know that I don't do a great job. But I feel like Martha Stewart is the one person where I do a halfway decent impression of her, so I thought I just had to include an impression that was okay. So let's watch it.
Hello, I'm Martha Stewart, and you're not. Today, I'm going to be showing you how to make handmade thank you cards for everyone who gave you a Christmas gift. First of all, you'll want to begin with a blank cardstock. This is one that I made with recycled papers. If you don't know how to make paper, you can always watch my tutorial on the topic. It's a 20-part series of paper making bliss. You will also need a rubber stamp. Make sure you buy it from the Martha Stewart Crafts line because I like money. Begin by finding the exact center of your cardstock. This is a special technique I like to utilize called using a ruler and pencil. Carefully put the stamp down on the ink pad and leave it for exactly 15 seconds. Once 15 seconds are up, lift it at this exact angle. Press your ink stamp down to the center of your cardstock and leave it for exactly the count of 5.5. It is important that you don't leave ink on the stamp for even a millisecond longer. Otherwise, the rubber could rot out, like the teeth of the uncle you never talk about. Blot your rubber stamp out on a damp paper toweling. I said damp with a P. I will now need to repeat this process 499 times. Yes, I really did receive Christmas presents from 500 people, which helps explain the dumpster out back. At this point, you're probably thinking, Martha, you are an amazing craftsperson, but I'm just a normal person, and I don't need to make thank you cards for people who gave me gifts. To you, I say, mass-produced cards are a big no-no, just like all those Christmas cards I receive with photos of people's babies and children. Frankly, if they're not my grandchildren, I don't need to see them. And that's why I have an annual Christmas bonfire. It's a good thing.
It was a halfway decent thing. Anyway, let's move forward to 2019. Angels with filthy souls and even filthier souls. And you'll get to see the cats again. So, basically, this one began as a viewer request. I don't do viewer requests, but this was a great idea that someone had, which was to parody the old black and white Home Alone movies. These are fake movies that appear in Home Alone, so they're already a parody. They're already over the top and silly, But the way I worked around that and tried to make it even more over the top was I thought, what if the jokes are all about cats? What if the skit is about cats? And that's when I finally had that moment of inspiration, and I had a lot of fun making this skit. Another thing worth mentioning about this skit, though, is really bad. I wanted it to look like the original set, and I went all out with this video. I don't know what caused it, but because I worked so incredibly hard on this skit, I got throwing up sick from it. It was bad. I was really sick afterward. Because of all the trouble, I'm incredibly grateful that this skit is one of my evergreen skits on my channel. It might be one of the only skits like that. And what I mean by that is that it didn't just fizzle out after it was new. It still gets views to this day, and even when it's not Christmas time, which kind of surprises me. But I'm grateful people enjoy it, and I hope you do too. Who is it?
It's me, Johnny, and Poopsie.
I could smell that cat from a mile away.
Don't listen to it, Poopsie. That's a nice hat, Johnny.
I'm covering a bald spot.
Oh, that's why it's so big.
What do you want?
Well, I wanted to get Poopsie a little something for Christmas. He's my favorite cat.
He's not your favorite. You're always smooching. Everyone. Heathcliff, Leadbelly, Sylvester, Felix, Keyboard Cat, and Tiny Tim with the gimpy leg.
So I'm a little bit of a crazy cat lady, Johnny. But I need some money to buy 'em all gifts. $5.25?
Keep the change, you filthy animal.
Oh, but he's not dirty.
What?
He's not dirty. He gives himself a bath 3 times a day with the little bugs on his tongue. And honestly, Johnny, I don't go around smooching just every cat I see.
All right, I believe ya. But my Tommy cat don't.
Johnny, you have a cat. You've been holding out on me.
I'm gonna give you to the count of 12 and a half to get ya ugly, yellow-eyed, no good kitty off my property.
All right, Johnny, we're going. But first, can I switch it?
1, 2,
All right, we're
3.
going.
2020 brings us to a frazzled mom who has way too many kids. And this skit is representative of my favorite accent to do, which is a generic US Southern accent. Part of my dad's family was from the South, so that may be why this one comes naturally to me. But you'll notice all of my accents stink, and so I'm not trying to claim this one as any good. Howdy y'all, I'm Carla Joe. Looking on the interwebs and seeing all these amazing craft projects that people are coming up with makes me feel like I will never measure up. I have got 5 children and another 2 on the way. And I've got a husband. Do I look like I have the energy for doing those kinds of crafts? The only thing that got me out of bed this morning was 4 little legs clog dancing in my belly. And I do not have the time to spend 2 months chopping down a hickory tree in my backyard and another 2 months to turn it into a credenza or a luxury 3,000 square foot treehouse. I can't make the time for anything these days. These roots are 4 months old, y'all. What now?
Mama, can I have a puppy?
No, you can't have a puppy. Go stick some ears on your baby brother. Anyway, I may not have any time, any energy, or especially any talent, but I still want to make something. Being able to make something will give you a sense of pride, so I've got 3 simple craft projects to share with y'all. The first craft project is super practical. If you're like me, you have people coming over to your house 55 times a day to drink up all your sweet tea. Y'all can't fool me. I know why y'all come over, and it sure isn't for my charming personality, and definitely not to see my children. It's for my sweet tea. What you'll need for this craft project is an empty lip balm container. What I want you to do is remove the lid from the container. And there you go! The perfect thing for all your company that comes over to drink your sweet tea. Now they can have a full cup. And don't forget to put in the ice first. I can hear y'all saying, but Carla Joe, if I use that cup, they're gonna get little rings all over my pretty patio furniture. And that brings me to the second craft project I have for y'all. Next thing I want you to do is find yourself a piece of scrap paper. It can pretty much be any size at all. Here's mine. Here's a little secret. It can even be a square of that bargain toilet paper. I don't judge. There you have it. You just made yourself a pretty little coaster. Yes, darling?
May I have some sweet tea, Mama?
Why, sure. Help yourself. I have got one more project for y'all. A floating shelf. Hidden hardware. They just look like they're stuck to your wall with bubble gum. Y'all will want everyone to admire that cup you just made, and that's why you want this floating shelf to put it on display. All you need is a spare piece of wood, like maybe a 2x4 or whatever this is. You're probably saying, but Carla Joe, how do I attach that to the wall? Well, honey, I told you how to do the first two projects. You can figure this one out on your own.
Sissy fell in the toilet!
We'll pull her out! Alright, y'all, that is it, and I hope you loved these simple crafts. If you make any of them, you be sure to tag me on all my social media accounts.
Mama!
Who am I kidding? I don't have time for social media. I can't do a simple craft without getting interrupted 28 times.
Mama, Nana's at the door wanting sweet tea.
Bye, y'all. I gotta go find me another lip balm. 2021 was a big year on this channel. In fact, you have found the channel in 2021. That's when I made the skit, Hilaria Baldwin Talks About Her Past. In 2021, YouTube recommended a video to me about Hilaria Baldwin and the controversy about her accent and whether or not she really was from Spain. I believe that I did think she was from Spain, and so I found this story very fascinating, but one reason I did was because our world was going through so much, and I thought this was a very interesting story that hurt nobody, and that's why I thought it was something worth parodying. I stayed up all night watching videos and writing a script. I could not sleep. I was so excited to make it, and I did. And I think that might be one reason why the skit did so well, is because I pounced on the topic and I got a skit out right away. I couldn't sleep anyway because my tooth hurt, so I might as well have made good use of it. The reason I chose to include this skit is because it is the first one that blew up for me. I can't say it went viral because I think that's millions of views, and I've never had a skit get millions of views, but it is one of 3 videos on this channel that took off and really did well. So I feel like I need to include it. Hello! Today I am so honored to have scored a video interview with the delightful social media influencer Hilaria Baldwin. Hilaria. I'm so sorry. I can't pronounce that because, unlike you, I am not from Spain. Anyway, hello, Hilaria. Well, I tried. Hola. I am just so excited to be interviewing you today. You caught me after making lunch. I was putting little sliced green things on sandwiches. Do you mean pickles? Or maybe cucumbers? No, I don't think so. I don't know those English words. You have such a presence on social media, and you are an inspiration to women everywhere to look like fitness models immediately after giving birth to 15 children. Oh, gracias. Speaking of babies, though, I wanted to ask you about your childhood growing up in Spain. My what? Your childhood in Spain! We know so little about those formative years, and I am sure your story has just got to be fascinating. Well, my childhood... Did you know I can do neat things with my legs? Oh yes, you're a yoga expert, but I'm curious about...
And I can do them while holding my phone.
That's amazing, but I was wondering...
And I can even put my legs in funny positions while holding my cell phone and one of my babies.
I'm sorry, is that a real human child? It looks like you're really busy. I'll just let you go.
Adios.
Oh, I'm sorry about that, but I'm sure we'll learn about her past some other time. 2022 brings us to Scrooge and the ghost of a scary little girl. I had to include Scrooge. I have so much fun playing cantankerous old people like Scrooge and Mrs. Santa. And Scrooge is not a Christmas skit or series. It's actually a series now. It's not a Christmas series. It jumped the shark a long time ago. So if you don't celebrate Christmas or whatever, this is still a video series you could watch if you want to. I need to give some background on this in case you haven't watched the series yet. Basically, in my series, the ghosts were having so much fun in Scrooge's house and getting to visit Earth that they rewound time a little bit and they have kept the ghost portal open. He keeps being visited by ghosts and he can't help it because he is stuck in time, where they've kind of paused time and they just keep coming into his house. And in this episode, a little girl comes in. I have so much fun playing Scrooge that I have the next episode written already. I haven't made it yet, but I have already written the one for 2025 because I just really like Scrooge.
Howdy, Scrooge! What are you the ghost of? Every scary ghost story has to have a scary ghost child in it.
Yeah, so, but this isn't a scary ghost story. This is a story about redemption and second chances after a spooky ghost with no face once it's a grave.
Well, that stinks, because I have lots of scary stuff planned.
Like what?
Like turning my head around 360 degrees. Watch.
I've seen more rotations than that from my peppermill.
Well then, what about my spooky doll?
You actually think a doll's face is gonna scare me? Child, every morning I see this in the mirror.
I know, I'm gonna disappear while I'm talking.
I like you better that way.
Well, here I am again, so, boo.
Nope, still not a single shiver.
Well then, I'm gonna float in the air.
I've seen that already. Don't bother getting out the green screen.
I can pop my joints out of their sockets.
Happens to me every morning.
I can disappear, go through this wall, reappear, and then walk through this wall.
They're thin walls.
Well, until I figure out a way to scare you, I guess I'm just gonna have to move into your house and be your little girl forever and ever. Got him.
I just love playing Scrooge. It's a little challenging because I drop my jaw to elongate my face and try to look older, but still I just really enjoy playing that character. 2023 brings us to pen pals. I had fun making this. It's kind of a tribute to my pen pals because I started being a pen pal when I was a little girl. I feel like people just are not pen pals anymore these days. People kind of switch to email and then just online forums and stuff, so it's kind of a dying art. Anyway, I hope you enjoy this one. Children, sign up through your school today to get matched with your very own pen pal. All it costs to write is a postage stamp, and you'll hear from your new friend in as little as a couple of weeks.
This is taking so long.
Honey, you just put that out in the mailbox 5 minutes ago.
That long?
My new friend's name is...
I can't read this chicken scratch. How does it even get here?
Collect stationery and swap photos and stickers.
It's finally here, and it's full. Hey, How to, Angry Buckies?
A new friend. It will be the best money you've ever spent.
I'd rather have bought some candy.
2024, I had to include this one because it is, to this point, the most popular video ever on this channel, and that is Katie Britt's State of the Union response. The story behind this one is kind of interesting because I was out of the loop. I didn't watch the State of the Union address and I didn't watch the response either. But I got an email from my brother and he's like, everyone's talking about this and you need to make a skit about it and you might get a lot of views. I decided to drop everything and look into it because frankly, if you want views on YouTube, you have to be right on things, which is very, very hard. But I did learn that, for example, with the Hilaria Baldwin skit, I got right on the topic. With this one, I had to even more so because it was possible that Saturday Night Live was going to tackle it. And sure enough, Scarlett Johansson later did it, and they had her looking exactly like Katie Britt. She did an amazing job. I don't like covering politics because it's a surefire way to make people angry. But I try to take the politics out of politics if I parody politicians. And in this case, I thought, you know, she's in her kitchen. That's kind of strange. What if she doesn't like her kitchen and wants her kitchen remodeled? I haven't watched this in some time, so I'm going to watch it with you and I'll come back afterward and see if there's anything else worth adding. Good evening, America. My name is Katie Britt. And just like all of you watching right now, I'm a proud wife and mom with a messy kitchen. I'm worried about the future of this kitchen, and that's why I wanted you to sit with me at this table tonight after watching President Biden's State of the Union address. Just be careful of the sticky spots. There are fingerprints on the cupboards, paint wearing off, an old black and white television from the 1890s with a power cord tangle. And what even is this dirty thing? President Biden has been in office since before this kitchen was last remodeled. He's out of touch. Bless him. I don't think he's ever even set foot in my kitchen. This kitchen is where I like to sit and melodramatically worry for weeks on end. I bake cookies sometimes too, but they have a whole lot of worry baked into them. I hear many concerns from fellow parents. What is wrong with my kitchen? Why is it so beige? Why does my neighbor get to spend $80,000 on a new kitchen, but I can't? Could we please just have a new coat of paint? I ask you, is your kitchen better than it was 3 years ago? Mine isn't. Here's the good news. I won't settle for a kitchen in decline. I know what my children and grandchildren deserve. I see this and I know it's going to change. My best kitchen is ahead. Good night, America. Wesley, we're doing that remodel. I'm still on. Okay, I'm going to be honest. I don't think that video deserves to have 70,000 more views than almost all the other skits on this channel. I think probably it made more sense when I had the original in my mind and knew the jokes and the vocabulary and stuff. But it's frustrating with how YouTube's algorithm works that you really, really have to have stuff on specific topics people are searching for or your videos may never be seen. I think that's actually the perfect segue to the last video I'm going to share, which is a short, and the fact that I have been leaning into shorts a little bit. On my channel, I do shorts differently than a lot of other people. I don't remix the long form videos into shorts. The shorts are their own skits. Sometimes when I write a skit, I will time myself and decide whether it's a long form or a short video, and that just kind of determines what it ends up being. I think YouTube needs to work on their algorithm. One of the things, I'm going to sound really rude, but I have seen how Google AI works on their search engine, and I'm like, oh wow. If the YouTube algorithm is similar to Google's AI on their search engine, no wonder it doesn't work very well. But anyway, let's move on to 2025, this year, and I'm choosing to share our exciting news. I don't want to say anything about it because I will give away the joke, so let's just watch it first. Hi guys, I'm here with my husband, and we have some really exciting news. I want you to read the results to them. No, you should. You do it! I might ugly cry! Okay, 98.6. That's right, guys. I am over the 24-hour flu. I remember when I came up with the idea, I would just start laughing anytime I thought of it. So it's one of those types of videos for me. And hopefully you got the joke, which is that it's supposed to be a misdirection where you're thinking they're going to announce a pregnancy, but it turns out it's just a digital thermometer. And obviously the husband seemed to know because he wasn't super thrilled with this huge announcement his wife was making. Thank you so much for watching these skits with me as we reflected on 10 years on YouTube. Wow. If you have been here for one day or 10 years or anything in between, I would be curious to know if you're willing to put that in the comment section. Happy anniversary to you too, because viewers are obviously what keep me posting videos. If all of my videos got 0 views, I probably wouldn't stick around very long. Thank you so much. Bye!